everyone. Welcome back to
the Spicy Bookish Podcast.
With me, Nikita.
And me, Tia.
Also known as Ginger and Spice.
Yes.
So this podcast is going to be a get to know us pod. And on Instagram, and it was only Instagram, we put up a couple of question boxes. I think it was over the span of like 2 weeks, and asked everyone to just fire in whatever questions they may have, whether it was bookish related, whether it was a fun question, you know, like would you rather, or whether it was personal. We are happy to answer anything. Yeah. So that's basically what we're going to go through in today's pod. We did do an intro to the podcast when we very first started this pod, and that was in July 2025.
That was years ago.
Yeah, that feels like so long ago. Honestly, guys, I would prefer if no one ever watched that podcast. Because I can't even bring myself to go back and watch it. So we filmed the intro July 2025. I think it is only like 15 minutes long. Now, if you do watch it, please forgive us for that, because we had never filmed a podcast. We had never even watched a podcast before. So we didn't have a clue what we were doing. In all honesty, we still don't have a clue what we're doing. And we say this quite often. Like,
we're really good at like winging it. We are really good at winging it. And
just do whatever feels right.
Because we've got this far.
Yeah, we did get this far. Yeah. We have gotten this far. You're right. So we're just going to carry on doing whatever feels right. So for the people that don't know, we have a TikTok account, we have an Instagram account, we have a YouTube, and we have a podcast. Now, the YouTube, the only thing that gets posted on there is the podcast episodes. TikTok used to be our main platform that we focused on, and then we started on Instagram, and Instagram has massively taken over. The community feel on Instagram is so much greater than it is on TikTok. So the podcast setup, again, for the people that might be new here or don't know, or if you're listening to this later on because you've just found us, the podcast setup is we have our main episodes. Way back in the day, they used to just be reading wrap-ups, and they would be like weekly or every 2 weeks. Then we switched it up. So if you start at the start, you'll see that it changes as the episodes go on. So it used to be like weekly wrap-ups, then it was 2 weekly wrap-ups. And then at the beginning of 2026, we kind of changed the structure of the podcast, and we started introducing different things like top 10 book boyfriends, 12 for 12s, the Get to Know Us, which you're obviously listening to now. And then we have themed weeks, so we'll have like a cowboy romance themed podcast, we'll have like a dark romance themed podcast, Why Choose, that kind of thing, sports romance. So we're branching out into other kind of different options, and then at the end of every month we do a reading wrap up. So it's only just one a month then, for all the books that we read throughout the month that we haven't already talked about in previous podcasts. So adjacent to that main podcast, we have our longer series podcasts, which at the moment is covering Zodiac Academy. Now, if you go back to the start of when we started posting the podcast, you'll see that they were a lot more frequent. However, the books have gotten longer and longer as we've gone on, and that has become a lot more difficult to be able to read within, say, like 1 week or 2 weeks. We're also about to go into a tandem read between 8 and 8.5. So it's very difficult. So what we've decided we're going to do is we're going to finish Zodiac Academy. We're going to do a Zodiac Academy wrap-up episode, and then we're going to go into Darkmoor Penitentiary. And then once we are finished Darkmoor Penitentiary, we might do like a midway podcast for Darkmoor and then do a final one. Then once Darkmoor Penitentiary is done, we're going to pick our next big series. So the longer series episodes will run adjacent to the normal episodes every week, but they will be a little bit more few and far between. So there might be a little less consistency in when they're posted, because we post them whenever obviously we've managed to get through the books, etc. None of these episodes, whether they are the longer series one or the normal ones, they're not deep dives. We are vibe readers. We're not here to talk about structure and the plot in depth. They're not going to be like 3 hours long. We just talk about the vibes, the spice, scenes that we liked, scenes that we didn't like, our star ratings, our chili ratings. That's basically it, you know, and we like to have a laugh. So that is what to expect from us from our podcasts. That's also what to expect from us on social media as well. When we do reviews, we do set the scenes, and we do a lot of prancing around and dancing. So that's us. That's us in a nutshell, and what we bring to the Spicy Bookish table.
Yes! I love prancing around and dancing.
Yeah. So
let's get into it.
Let's start our Get to Know Us pod. So actually, let's just go back to the very start. And talk about really quickly how we got to this point. So we started a TikTok in October 2024.
Yeah.
That grew at a fairly decent rate. We didn't have a clue what we were doing. We were just throwing videos out there, just whatever felt right, until we found something that worked for us. And then we grew on TikTok. When we started growing on TikTok, we were like, should we lock down our handles on YouTube and Instagram, so they can't be taken by somebody else. Which is exactly what we did, and that was probably one of the best decisions we made.
That was the best decision.
Was to lock that in before we were ready to go live. And at the time, when we locked it in on YouTube, we didn't know we were going to do a podcast.
No.
We were just like, let's get it locked in just in case. So we started the TikTok October 2024. We locked in Instagram and YouTube handles only. Then lots of people on TikTok were like, you guys need a podcast now, you know, can you do a podcast? And we were like, oh, should we just do it? So we launched the podcast and Instagram at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Which, in hindsight, probably was maybe a bit too much all in one go. But nevertheless, we soldiered on through.
And we doubled down. Like, we had zero structure. So we were like, let's just do 2 podcasts a week.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
And edit it ourselves.
Yeah.
Because
the Delulu
why not?
Was rife.
Oh, yeah. It was bad, wasn't it?
Oh, it was bad.
It was really bad.
And then, obviously, very quickly. So that was in July 2025. This year definitely has been a turning point from sort of January 2026, and bringing in Ella to edit the podcast has been a monumental thing for us. Huge. Probably some of the best money we've ever spent since starting this. Absolutely. We started in October 2024 and it is now March 2026. So it does take a while.
These things take so long, like they do. And we're still trying to find our feet. Like, obviously we're going to have a conversation about our next venture shortly. But there's going to be like more things that happen throughout this year. It is just a learning curve.
I think social media as well is constantly moving and changing. So it's important that you kind of move and change with it. Yeah. We do actually have structure to this podcast. So it's not just going to be a case of like 160 questions and they're all random and, you know, we just answer them as we go along. So we've structured the podcast so it'll be in 3 parts. So the first part is going to be bookish related. So this will be book related questions that you guys have all asked, and we'll talk about like our top 5 books, favourite trope, favourite micro trope, all that kind of stuff. Part 2 is going to be the quickfire questions and the games. So we're talking like this or that, smash or pass, would you rather, snog, marry, kill, or fuck, marry, kill. So like a nice fun part in the middle of just random fun questions as well. And then the third part is going to be all the personal shit. So are we married? Do we have kids? What is our careers? You know, what are we doing with our lives? Do we prefer leggings over jeans? That kind of stuff. Someone did ask that.
I don't blame them.
Before we move on to the first part, which will be the bookish related questions, there is a lot of new people around, obviously, which I didn't say a minute ago. There is a lot of new people around now compared to when we very first started our TikTok, but also compared to when we very first started in July 2025. And we do get asked the same questions a lot, and we kind of have to repeat ourselves a lot, which is the nature of the game when you're still kind of growing. I totally get it. So we thought we would obviously just answer it all in one place. Okay. Let's get into part 1. Before we get into the questions, really quickly, let's start with the basics. So, our top 5 books.
Da, 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 da.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
So, I've actually got a reserve in this because I was like, I don't know what I would take out to fit it in.
Reserves.
I'll start at number 5, then I'll go to number 1, and then I'll tell you what that one reserve is. But number 5 is Hills of Shivers and Shadows. Number 4 is Alchemized. Number 3 is The Inheritance Games. Number 2 is Exodus. And number 1 is Fourth Wing. Lovely. And then the reserve is A Court of Wings and Ruin. What's yours?
Oh, I didn't even think about it up. Yeah. Okay, so mine aren't in order because it was blowing my fucking mind. So Hills of Shivers and Shadows, Darling Wildfire, Double Edged, Fourth Wing, and Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, because I'm fucking obsessed. And then Credence is my reserve, because I feel like I could read that
time and
forever.
Time again. Yeah.
Also, I had Worth Every Risk, because...
Oh, yeah.
Big hearts.
I mean, if we were getting, like, really into it and it was, like, top 10, then yes, things like Worth Every Risk. Credence probably would be in my top 10, although I disagree with the ending. And I also didn't like Caleb very much. I don't really like those types of characters where that kind of like broodiness and the aggression is taken a little bit too far.
Yeah, but I think it's because we loved Uncle Jake and we was like, probably, should have been Uncle Jake.
Yeah.
The whole way through. And then it wasn't. And it was kind of like, oh yeah, spoiler alert. And then it was kind of like, it is obvious it's going to be Caleb, but why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Yeah, I mean, it was earth-shattering.
Hashtag justice for Uncle Jake. Yeah. Okay, so, favourite trope. Come on, this has got to be really obvious. So my favourite trope is why choose?
Why choose? But also age gaps. Because I do love me a fucking age gap.
Yeah, I think I would still pick why choose over age gap.
Yeah,
but I know
mean,
that you do
100%
like.
I would.
If you could have an age gap and why choose, that would be your perfect combination, wouldn't it? But for me, just one, why choose?
Yeah.
Favourite genre?
Cowboy. Fucking love. Eat that shit up.
Mine would be fantasy. So whether that's fantasy romance or romantasy, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the fucking difference is between the two. Okay, favourite micro trope?
Yeah, so mine is the one bed because I fucking eat that shit up. Or touch her and die.
Nice. So my favourite micro trope, I've got two, and it is only one horse and when they have a pet.
Oh, you do love a pet.
Yeah, fucking eat up as soon. And again, it's something like Friends to Lovers where I didn't realise it until it kept happening. And every single time I was like, oh, I really like this. And then I realised over time, oh, I like this all the time.
Right.
So this is probably a thing for me.
Yeah. It's the cats, isn't it?
Yeah. But even in like On Wings of Blood, the little fluffin.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
That little fluffin was adorable.
But even just down to dragons, like I love me a dragon as well. You know, I love it, especially love it when they give the pet a personality. I just eat that shit up, I do. And then, yeah, of course, like only one horse. I just love it, you know, like when they're on a horse together and she's on the front and his hands are on her and it's like the movement of and she's getting all like hot and sweaty
Heated.
And all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I love it. Love that shit. Okay, so shall I just start at the start or shall I just ask some random ones? I've got 3 pages or 2 and a bit pages of bookish questions to go through.
We should be able to make
So
it work.
one of the questions was favourite books of all time, and we've just kind of gone through that. And I will say, actually, there are some books like Rose Madder by Stephen King that I never talk about, but I read that when I was a lot younger. My mum gave that book to me, and like when I was a teenager, and I'll never forget that book. I haven't read it again for years, obviously, since then, but it's like one of those things I'll never forget because of how it made me feel at the time. So I would actually bung that into probably my favourite books of all time, not because I've read it recently or because it's, you know, amazingly popular, because it helped form the reader that I am today. Also The Hobbit as well, that also helped form the reader that I've become today. And as I got older, way before Book Talk, I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and that sort of sparked my love for sci-fi.
Yeah, nice.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I ate that shit up. I watched the TV programme. I ended up going down a hole of time and space and quantum mechanics and stuff after that, and yeah, it really sparked something in me. So those are books that I would probably add for very different reasons between them, but because they had a personal impact on me. One of the questions here, which I think we should answer first, is how do you read so many books?
Yeah, so we heavily rely, or I do heavily rely on audiobooks because I read a lot slower than what you do. So if I use my eyeballs, that's only going to happen in the evening when I'm at home, and it'll only be for a few hours because obviously we do have jobs and we are very busy. So having audiobooks, because I drive a lot and because we can listen to it when we're at work, that does help.
Yeah. I think the biggest point I think to take away from what Tia is saying is that you have to do what works for your life. Yeah. Don't feel like pressurized that you have to like physically eyeball every single book. If you want to read a book and you know you're going to be busy, have a look at the audio. I know that audiobooks aren't for everybody, but you do have to do what works around your life, and that is exactly what we do. Tia lives a lot further away than from our office, from our 9 to 5 than I do. I quite literally live down the road, and Tia lives basically on another planet. She may as well live in France, in all honesty, at this point.
I'm pretty sure I'm closer to France than I am work.
Yeah, I think you actually are closer to France than you are to work. Yeah. Actually, that's insane. That is actually insane.
That's mad.
So Tia lives on the coast. So it takes her a long time to drive in and to drive home. Whereas for me, if there's no traffic, I can be home in like 15, 20 minutes. So audiobooks for me I am less reliant on them. I get home earlier. Obviously, we read a lot of books because we obviously want to post about them and we enjoy doing it. And yes, we do read more books than what we would read if we didn't have a social media account and we didn't have a podcast. We'd probably read a lot less because it would just be a lot more casual.
It would. And do you know what? Like, it would just be the books that we really, really want to read. Whereas we're like broadening our horizons in what it is that we're reading because we want it to
variety.
Go on socials.
Yeah, we want variety and want to bring people variety as well. And actually, to be fair, it is something we enjoy, branching out into something that we wouldn't usually read. So we do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, if we didn't have social media, we probably would be reading quite a bit less. What's the next book series that you'll be discussing on the pod?
So I was thinking about this, because I think we did say, wasn't it going to be like a Sarah J Maas situation?
So the original plan was Throne of Glass. And that's because so many people ask us, like, have we read it? Are we going to read it? Blah, blah, blah. We haven't committed to making that anything. One of the options was also going to be the Plated Prisoner series, but then I started reading it when I was away. And I am quite a bit into the penultimate book, the second to last book now. So that ship has sailed for the pod.
Shippage.
We could do, is it Gods and Monsters by Amber V. Nicole? That might be quite fun to do, because I'll tell you, I'm going to be completely honest. Zodiac Academy having no consistency with, you know, the romance / the spice versus the plot can make it quite frustrating to read. And a lot of the time it can be pretty boring. So it would be good to read something, I think, potentially where there is a bit more consistency in the story and the plot and the storytelling. And
this was fucking long. Zodiac has been long. Like, it's been the longest time of my whole existence.
I think we could do something like Gods and Monsters in, you know, over the course of maybe like 6 weeks or something. Yeah. And then we could switch on to something else. And then maybe if we're like, okay, that's scratched an itch, we can then go into like Throne of Glass and complete Sarah J Maas. We don't know for certain yet, to answer your question, what the next series will be on the pod, but it's going to be something along those lines.
There's a list.
Dark romance or dark fantasy?
Dark romance for me.
Dark fantasy for me, definitely. I'm more of a fantasy reader. Best sex scene in a book?
You know what mine is, don't you?
Let's say it after 3, because...
What, mine?
Yeah.
Or each other? Wait.
Yeah,
what?
Our own. Say our own.
All right.
But now that you've had that reaction, I'm thinking we might not have the same, or what I think you're going to say.
I think you'll know what mine is, but I don't think ours will be the same. Or will they?
Okay, let's just test run it and say it after 3. 3, 2, 1.
Cabin scene. Honestly, that's a one-hand read, if ever there was one. Like, that is something else.
It's like one of those reads where it's such an insane spicy scene that even if it wasn't a one-handed read, there's just so much going on that you can't take your eyeballs off the page.
Everyone's with everyone. Yeah. Everyone's having a good time because everyone's with everyone. It wasn't even just about Skylar. It was about all of them. Such a good time.
It was so good.
It was so good. I've read that scene probably 5 times and I still cannot describe it. I still know where everyone was.
Yeah, in my brain. Getting it out verbally is a struggle.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah, definitely the cabin scene. Oh, by the way, that was from Demise, which is book 3 in the Gallows Hill series by Caitlin Taylor. I'm sure you're probably all sick of hearing us talk about it, to be honest, by now.
But we don't care, because we had a great time.
We love it.
Yeah.
Worst book you've ever read? Wait, I'm trying to think what it's called.
We won't have the same one then.
I remember what it's called. Let's say it.
Oh, okay. So I think we've got different ones.
Okay, let's say it then. Right. 3, 2, 1.
Between
Light Me Up.
Two Kings. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I was going a bit more serious, but yeah, actually it would be between Light Me Up and Between Two Kings. The fact that Between Two Kings has been bundled in with a sentient romance book.
A freaking lamp.
Yeah.
That's insane. Or what was that other one? Little Lunatic.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Terrible.
That was by Nova Kane, by the way. We didn't enjoy that. If that's your thing and you liked it, that's obviously absolutely fine. But I don't know, I can't even remember what it was about it. We both read it and we were like, that was
what the
not
fuck is
great.
this?
Yeah. Someone has said, I want to read a sports romance. What do you recommend?
So the issue is, we haven't read a lot of sports romances. However, one that I have read recently that I would suggest to everyone is Face Off by Chelsea Curto. That was so fucking good.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
That's a good place to start as well. It's part of a wider series, which is also quite popular. I'll definitely read the rest of the series. Someone's asked for our favourite duet narration audiobooks.
I got a list. Yeah, so my ones, we've got Mountain Daddy by S.J. Tilley, Bull Rush by Maggie Rawdon, 7 Year Itch. Mm-hmm. That was really good. Nice. Bad Bishop. Now, I put Bad Bishop down, but I can't actually remember if it was duet or not. I just remember having a really, really fucking good time.
Yeah, I can't remember, actually.
Speak and Stutter.
Wait, talking about Bad Bishop, I looked at the audio for the next one, Twisted Porn. I'm sure that's full cast.
Is it?
I'm sure there's like
4 of them.
4 of them, yeah.
Bad Bishop probably is then. And it's Corvin King, so...
Yep, and he's in the next one, Corvin King.
Speak and Stutter, by Ruby Darling, absolutely amazing. And 3 Ways to Mend a Broken Heart by Trelina Pucci.
Yeah. What times a day do you read? Where? On which formats? Thanks. So we audiobook during the day when we're at work with our headphones in, of course. At lunchtime, I try to have an eyeball break. I don't particularly like audiobooking when I've got nothing to do. Like, if I've got nothing to do, I'll eyeball or I'll immersive read. I cannot just sit and audio.
No, I can't.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, I can immersive.
Not just sit staring at a wall.
Yes. Just taking it all in.
Yeah, I shouldn't have fallen asleep. Like, my brain will
No, I
just
need
off.
to be doing something else. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm wasting time.
And then lunchtime, I think we both do this. We have a tendency to, I think you probably maybe carry on with an audio and immersive, but a lot of the time I'll switch to whatever I'm reading on Kindle or physical at lunchtime at work. And then in the evenings when I get home, I would prefer to eyeball read. I try to keep my audiobooks to work only.
Yeah, that's
or when I'm busy at home doing the washing, the dinner, that kind of thing. So that's what I do. I assume you're probably not far off the same.
Yeah.
Except the fact that you audiobook in the car to and from work. Someone said, have you read Dolls and Douchebags? Did you have a look at what that is?
No.
I don't know what that is. If anyone's read it, let us know because it sounds great. Dolls and Douchebags.
Who doesn't love a douchebag?
Well, we all do,
Well,
don't we? Yeah. If you could be the FMC of any why choose situation, who would you be?
Oh.
Wait.
Hey. Oh.
3, 2, 1.
Skylar.
Elise.
Oh. Yeah.
Ruthless Boys.
Mine's Gallows Hills. Because you are very fantasy.
Yes.
And I am...
More standard
Mad.
dark romance.
but actually, to be fair, I'd be both. It would definitely be between those two.
So someone here has said, I love a lot of MMCs and only one FMC book. So basically she likes why choose, reverse harem. But I want plot and spice from the start to finish. Any Rex? I think you said you've got a list.
I've got a list. So some of these, obviously, it doesn't kickstart straight away, but it does kickstart in book 1. So Gallows Hill, Ruthless Boys, The Bianchi Chronicles by Laura Bennett.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Loser's Duet by Harley LaRue.
That's more spice led,
that's
I would
heavy,
say.
heavy on the spiceage. Fruits of Bristlebrook by Rebecca Quinn. And Broken Bloodlines series by...
And Dear Reader by Tate James.
Oh, yes.
That series as
Yeah.
well. Spice and plot. And how it's sort of like
and,
trickled out through the books.
The Rainmore University. Deacon Stutter.
Yeah, absolutely. Last one on this page. How much time do you spend reading books and videoing about them? Really too long, to be honest.
Yeah. So if we audio every day, we do about at least 5 hours, I would say, of audio.
Yeah, of audiobooks a day, yeah.
And then I try and get in like a couple of hours of eyeball
In the evenings.
readage.
And then we have the filming and the editing. Taking away the podcast filming, we actually probably film a lot less social media clips than we used to now, and that works well for us.
But it's basically because we double down. So we have, if we post twice, it's because we will do a pod clip and then we'll do like a normal clip as well.
Clip, yeah.
So we actually only really need to video maximum 7 things.
Yeah, for each week.
Yeah.
Absolute maximum. And we do sometimes, we keep saying to ourselves, we need to have a day of the week where we don't post anything so we can have a day off. Would you ever write a book?
Yeah, so we've already spoken about this and we plan on doing a little Christmas jobby, a little Christmas novella this year.
Don't hold us to it, but we're hoping we can get some kind of Christmas novella out.
I feel like you should hold us to it because it means that we've got no choice.
Yeah.
But it would be a laugh, I think. Obviously, it would be Why Choose, because classic.
Yeah, we have spoken about it before. Yeah, if you want to hold us accountable, then you can. And we said this last time when we very first mentioned that we may write a Christmas novella, was that don't take it too fucking seriously. We're not authors. We're not here to try and be traditionally published. We're not going to try and use our platform to release this very serious book that we want to be sold in Waterstones. It's just for a laugh. It's just for a bit of fun because it's something that we'll enjoy doing.
It's not going to be Waterstones worthy. Oh my God. Like, not even close.
No.
It's going to be just us throwing what we like to frickin' read into one book. And it's going to be half Christmas related because we'll probably forget it's Christmas related halfway through.
We're not out here trying to write some like 5-star fucking masterpiece.
No.
It'd just be a laugh. Like, not that Samantha Barrett books aren't good, by the way, because I actually have given quite a few of them 4.5 stars. But you know that vibe where it's like, it doesn't take itself too seriously.
That
and
is the
it's just
vibe
for
we
a
would go
laugh.
for.
Yeah, definitely.
All of her books is the sort of vibe that we would go for.
If
just
we were going to write
hella
something.
spicy, Christmas.
Absolutely insane.
And we might even make up something a little educational.
Yeah, potentially. Talking about that, someone here has said, what's a Colorado s'more? Really quickly, it is when you stick a marshmallow in a hole, and then he goes in the hole, finishes in the hole on the marshmallow, and then somebody, either him or another male or another person in the room, sucks it out of the hole and then feeds it to the person whose hole it was in, and then they have to eat it. And that's it. Okay, let's move on for the Colorado s'mores. We've got so many questions. Which book do you wish you could read again for the first time? That was sent by Beck Devon X.
So it's either going to be... I'm going to say one and then say another one afterwards anyway, for a laugh. Definitely Hills of Shivers and Shadows. Hashtag also Credence. That feeling I got when I read Credence was fucking insane. And that's why I found it so easy to read it again. I've read it about 4 times.
Yeah. So I would say Hills of Shivers and Shadows... and probably Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's just based on the feelings it gave me, like you said about Credence.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a literary masterpiece. It's about the way it made me feel. It's about the way it makes you feel. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And that sparked that flame that had kind of been like simmering for years on end for fantasy. And it just sparked it back to life again. Yeah, and I appreciate it for that. The feeling it gave me, I have not been able to replicate that since with a fantasy book. But I agree on Hills of Shivers and Shadows, definitely. How old were you when you first got into reading?
Like spicy books.
They just said when you first got into reading. I mean, we both read when we were younger, didn't we? I think like teenagers and younger kids. My mum reads. My nan reads a lot, even now. She still reads a lot. My granddad goes down to the library sometimes for her, and he orders her like little books on Amazon.
So cute.
Yeah, and he just orders her some books, and she just sits in bed because he knows what she likes to read as well. So he just orders her some stuff, and then she just reads it in bed. Oh, it's really cute. Yeah.
There's no one in my family that reads.
Oh.
So my sister does, but I don't really know what she does read. But other than that...
My sisters read now. Both my sisters as well. What was your intro book into the smutty world?
Twisted series. Well, unless we're going to go like back in the day, then it would be 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I think that's probably that's more going to be accurate answer. Yeah. Jesus, I don't even know. I literally don't know. I've always been heavy into like fantasy, horror and sci-fi. So my introduction to the smutty world was probably a bit later. I didn't read 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah. That was never my thing when I was younger. And my mum was also into horrors and stuff when I was younger, and like The Hobbit and high fantasy, Lord of the Rings and stuff. Yes, I don't know. I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember what my first book was. I've been reading for a long time, long before I had book talk. Someone said, what got you into reading and how did you both come together for it?
So, getting back into my reading life, Nikita actually got me into it, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I made you read Flock.
Yeah.
Was that what you started with, or did I say to you start with... No, I gave you the Twisted.
You gave me the Twisted series. So you gave me the Twisted series, and then you gave me... What was the series after that? Kings of Sin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd done all the Anna Huang ones, which obviously I've progressed from now, because... thinking back then, that was like a good little starting place. But
oh yeah, everyone says that. Like Colleen Hoover and Anna Huang. Like if you want to get into those kind of like heavier romance and spicier kind of books, they're a great avenue through. Like, so no disrespect to people that enjoy them, that did enjoy them, that love them. Like absolutely, but obviously for more so for you, you found your thing now. Yeah. Since then,
looking back on like some of the Twisted books, I was like, well, that's very unrealistic. Now that I've read other things. King of Sins, I actually did quite enjoy that. Like, that was actually quite good compared to others. But then, yeah, obviously you then basically threw every single book that you had at me. And then that's how we ended up down the avenue of being like, fuck it, let's just start a TikTok for a laugh.
Yeah. That was it. That was basically it.
Yeah, it was.
So I was already reading before I read Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing, as I said, kicked off my love again for fantasy. But what kicked off my love again, kind of getting back into reading, I started to go back into Stephen King, and I read Needful Things, and I read another one, but I can't remember what it was. And then I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and I read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and those are the two books that then kickstarted my love for reading again. And then I read Fourth Wing, and then it all just kind of spiraled out of control from there. Apart from spicy books, what are your favourite suspense and thriller books? Any hobbies that you love?
So I've only read, outside of the spicy books that we read, I've only read, I think, The Housemaid. That's it.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. I mean, it was so good.
It was, yeah.
But other than that, I only read spicy things.
Yeah, I don't really read thriller or crime. They're not usually my thing. I did enjoy the Housemaid, Frida McFadden. But like I said, I'm more of a Stephen King, Blake Crouch, those kind of people. I did enjoy, is it Recursion? Is that how you say it? I'm not sure if I've got that right, which is the book after Dark Matter, which doesn't seem to get as much love, but it's equally as a bit of a mindfuck as the first one. Hobbies? No, I do Pilates. I know that's more of a personal question, but she's put it into the same box. Hobbies? No, I go to Pilates and I drink coffee and that's it.
0. Literally, I don't even move. I can't be bothered.
Do you keep or give away your books after?
We've got libraries, so they get kept.
They do get kept, yeah. How did the two of you meet and what made you decide to do the podcasts and book reviews? We met at work in our 9-to-5 job. And what made us decide to do the podcast and the book reviews is we've kind of already touched on that inadvertently through the conversations. The book reviews was just, it spiraled out of control after we ended up in an open plan office together. We started talking more about the books. I gave you some of mine. And then we were like, fuck it, let's start a page. And then after we started the TikTok, people were like, you should have a podcast. So then we did a podcast. That was basically the journey in a nutshell. Least favourite moment in the Zodiac Academy series.
So, I've got 2. One, when Lionel started getting his own chapters, that fucked me off.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's not on. Not happy about this. Also, when Seth turned into a dick to Orion and Darcy.
Yeah.
That really fucked me off. Because I was like Team Seth the whole way through. I was like, he's a laugh. I love him. He reminds me of Leon. And then he done that. And I was like, well, what the fuck is that about? But then obviously he had his redemption afterwards. And I was like, well, it was actually completely pointless making him a dick for no reason.
I agree on the Seth being a dick situation. That was my least favourite part of ZA. And especially the pissing situation.
Yeah,
that was bad. That was really bad. That
bad.
Actually gave me physical rage. I'll just rattle through a couple of these because I don't want to stay in them too long. And then we'll get into the games and the quickfire questions, so the fun stuff. So let's just do a couple more. This is a good one, actually, because I'm not too sure how to answer it. Do you guys take smutty books less seriously than general spicy romance?
No. I feel like you need to have those little smutty books to get you through certain slumps and stuff, and I would 100% take them seriously.
I think it's about, you've got to understand what you're getting.
Yeah.
Because I think it's not like I'm looking at it and I'm reading it, and I don't know if maybe this is what you mean, but I'm not reading it and being like, you know, what's the character development like? You know, what's the plot like? How does it flow? I know that I'm going into like a sort of smutty novella, even a longer smutty novel. I know what I'm getting. And I accept it for what it is. We are vibe readers. We are just here for a good time. So, no. And also, we don't take ourselves very seriously.
No.
I think I get what you mean, as in, like, because they're more of, like, a smutty fun time, as opposed to reading something like, I don't know, Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale, which I don't even know if that's spicy, but, like, how you would go into each of those things, you know, would you treat one more seriously than the other? But for me, personally, no, because I go in with an open mind for everything.
I think the only way that I wouldn't take it as serious is if, like, note-taking. So, like, if I was going to sit and read Onyx Storm, having to note-take for that is obviously going to be a lot harder than if I sat down and I read, like, a
Dirty Brothers.
Smutty novella.
Yeah. I don't want to say we take everything really seriously because we're not all that serious of people, but also we don't not take them seriously.
Yeah.
We just treat all of them with the same respect. As even when it's like, we've read ones about, you know, where she bangs her birthday bear and she, you know, humps a cake, a man that turns into a cake.
So good.
You know, and we go into everything really open-minded.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is by Sweet Nerd with an E on the end.
Hey, sweet nerd.
Zayden's going into his villain era. What other MMC do you think could go dark and make it hot?
It's going to be like your Kingfishers and your Dariuses from Zodiac.
I would say Rhysand or Azrael. I would quite like
Azrael.
to see go
Azrael's
dark.
good.
Yeah. Go off the rails a little bit. Maybe even Cassian, if something happened to like Nesta.
Yeah.
What are your hit limit type of books you wouldn't read? So like, what is a nope, not going to continue?
I actually don't have any.
No.
Or so far I haven't found one that I don't like. Like, we have read some dark things.
Yeah.
Dark as shit things.
Yeah.
And even there might have been like a little bit where I was kind of, I've got to put this down for a little while because that's a lot. But I've picked it back up again. So at the minute I haven't found one where I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah. where we physically had to stop, or be like, no, I'm not going to read that again. Because even if we've got to the end of the book and been like, that was touch and go, I wasn't sure about that, you know, there's somewhere I'd still carry on the series. I'd just go into the next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't found that yet. I'm sure we might do one day. Okay, the last question. Oh, actually, I'll do 2 more. Favourite SJM series? We've only read Akatar.
We've only done Akatar.
Oh yeah, never mind. Scratch that. Why chooses that aren't dark? Really quickly.
Oh, I've written these down. 3 Ways to Mend a Broken Heart, Let's Turn Up the Beat, and Deck Wrecked and Pucked.
Okay, last question from this section is, please share tips for starting a book page. If you want to do it, I think you sort of just need to accept that you're doing it and go balls to the wall and just be like, it's difficult because you do have to set aside feeling awkward, and that takes a little while to get past that awkwardness of talking to your phone, essentially talking to yourself. It does help that there is 2 of us here.
For sure. We really level each other out.
Yeah.
So we are lucky that there is.
And we've got someone to bounce off. So I do get that when you're starting a page on your own, that I respect that probably is a lot more difficult than what we have experienced. It has to be authentic. You have to not be performative. You have to want to do it and want to be there, and you also have to be enjoying it. I think it'll come through, it'll radiate through if it's not something you enjoy. And try everything. Try longer videos, try shorter videos, try non-talking videos. It depends what you want to do. I will say you do want to get some level of consistency in the respect of that when people follow you, they do know what they're kind of going to get. So yeah, just try some things out. And don't worry if something doesn't work or it doesn't get a lot of views. Just put it down as that didn't work and move on. Or try it again in a different way. That's really important. Don't be bogged down at the very beginning by your views and stuff. I also will say that if you ever want to make money out of it, engagement is important. So again, don't get too bogged down with especially TikTok views. Engagement is so important. These are just what has worked for us and what we have found.
What we've learnt along the way.
I can't stress enough that we are still learning, and we also half the time don't have a fucking clue what we're doing. And we're also still technically a really small creator compared to a lot of people. Okay, let's go into the fun stuff in the middle. I've finished my Coke now, and I don't know whether to get another one or not. Having the sugar hit has really helped. Can we get some sweets or biscuits out?
Sweets and biscuits!
My God. Guys, if you're American, right, I'm telling you, you are missing out on party rings. The party ring! I'm just literally going to end today. It's just basically a lump of sugar. Okay, guys, before we get into the... Well, actually, we have just had like a little snack break, and we did it off camera, away from Mike, because when I go in and I watch the pods to approve them and I do like the final edit and run through, a lot of the time all you can hear is just rustling in the background.
Or just us eating crisps.
Yeah, crunch, crunch, crunch. And sometimes if we're having like a little conversation, we can make like a little funny section out of that, a little segment out of it, but we basically just sat there in silence then just eating. So we're back!
Hey!
Anyway, before we get into the quickfire questions and games, which is actually quite a fun section, I'm excited for this. It'll be a smaller section. We're going to quickly talk about our new venture, which is Patreon. So when I quit my job, a lot of people did message us and was like, oh, you guys should do Patreon, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, oh, this is actually something we have been thinking about for a while, but we've never really had the time to look into it, to make it a serious consideration. I quit my job and we were like, well, actually... You know, logically, we are ready for whatever the next step in this journey for us is. We've, you know, got structure and routine with the podcast now. That's doing really well.
Yeah.
We felt that, like, with Patreon, we can maybe be a little bit less polished.
We don't have to think as much.
We thought that Patreon would be the right place where we can kind of just say things off the cuff without having to worry about whether it's edited perfectly. We can take videos separately when we're at home and we've got thoughts about a spicy scene. We can read you the quotes. We can read you the scenes. It's going to be a lot more off the cuff. It's going to be a lot more uncensored. It's going to be a lot more unfiltered, and it's going to be a lot less polished. So we don't know at the moment how it's going to go. Obviously, you know, it's the first time we're doing this. It's been difficult to get to learn Patreon and everything that's available on there. But we are very, very excited. It'll already be live by the time you're listening to this. So there's 2 tiers on Patreon. That may change in the future. There may be 3 tiers. We may just remove it and only have 1 tier. Who knows? We are going to react and adapt based on the reaction and what people want. So tier 1 is going to be like your more basic stuff. So at the moment, it's like there'll be some like digital downloads. So we're talking about like a spicy book starter guide / pack. And then there'll be like a reading tracker, like that kind of stuff. And then over time, we're going to introduce things like where to start if you want to get into why choose, and where to start if you want to get into dark romance. So there'll be like a why choose starter guide, a dark romance starter guide, cowboy starter guide. There'll be like an immersive reading starter guide. Like, those things will trickle through as time goes on, and they will be heavily detailed. And then audiobooks as well. That's a question we get asked a lot. Where do I start? Because that's such a vast thing. And then the higher tier 2, will be the book club.
Yeah.
And then that is where we will also post some vlogs. So the vlogs we kind of put into the higher tier because they're a lot more time consuming for us to do. As with the book club, you know, managing a book club is going to be a lot more time consuming. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we're excited. And if you've signed up to a membership, let us know.
Yeah.
Hi, also, and thank you for the support. Hopefully it's not a flop. Lol.
Double thumbs up.
We'll have like 3 people on there.
Yeah, you all go on and you're like, oh, I wonder how it's going.
Yeah,
3 people. And that is me and you.
And our mums.
Yeah. Oh, what a sad little life, Jane.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some quick fire questions and games. So I've got some questions here from the people that put them in on Instagram, on the stories. Favourite type of wine for reading?
What a savvy bee.
Savvy bee.
Yeah.
Always. All day, every day.
Always a savvy bee.
Shag, marry, kill. Leon, Ryder, Dante.
Whoa. Whoa! Oh, fuck me.
So fuck, marry, kill. Leon, Ryder, Dante.
I'm going to fuck Ryder. I'm going to marry Leon. I'm going to off Dante.
Ooh. I'm going to fuck Dante, marry Ryder, and kill Leon.
Yeah.
I think you knew that was going that way.
Yep. That says a lot about both of us.
It does, actually, yeah. If you could only read one genre for the rest of your time, what would it be?
Oh. So, I think I would pick dark romance, and that is only because the other genres that I enjoy can obviously feed into dark romance. So you can have like dark fantasy, you can have dark cowboy romance, you can have like all of the different things, but they just will be dark. And I feel like I've found the loophole there.
Yeah, going on that loophole basis, because I would have just picked fantasy, so I could read a why choose fantasy, a dark fantasy, a non-spicy fantasy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on that basis, I feel like if you just go dark romance, that means you can read dark romantasy, dark cowboy romance.
Yeah.
So I probably have to agree with Tia if we're going to go for a loophole vibe.
Loopholage.
If you could have any FMC's personality, who would you be? What about looks and love life?
If I was going to bundle that all into one, I'd go Elise from Ruthless Boys.
So personality-wise,
but
I really liked Clara from Legal Jargon, and I liked Millie from 3 Ways to Mend a Broken Heart. Personality and looks-wise for both of them, and love life, actually.
And I would also go for Miller from Caught Up.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was fucking great.
She was. I would say you should do Miller, because her personality suits you more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would either be like Millie from 3 Ways to Mend a Broken Heart. Clara I liked because she was a corporate girly, you know, she knew her field and she was intelligent, but also in the same respect, she was like, she still had a heart of gold, but she was also funny as well.
Yeah.
So I liked Clara. I think I would maybe, if I had to pick, actually, I think I might pick Clara from Legal Jargon. Yeah. If you could star in a movie adaptation of a book, what book and what character would you play? That's great.
Oh,
Man, it's a movie adaptation. We're not talking about a porno, so this is a movie adaptation.
I think Ophelia in Broken Bloodlines.
Yeah,
that would be so much fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Wouldn't
The
it?
pink hair, the short skirts.
Yeah.
The vampires, the age gap.
Because then you've got like the spicy scenes, which are all fun. And you know, like she went through a bit of a shit time in the first one, but then she came up on top.
Yeah.
And then where like the plot starts kicking in,
The dragons
all come into it, and like it just got really fun.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, Ophelia.
Yeah.
From the Broken Bloodline series by Sadie Kincaid. If you had to choose, same book over and over, or never know the ending to a book series.
Oh, that's horrible.
I'd have to pick the same book over and
same
over.
book over and over.
I don't like not knowing things. That really upsets me. I would have to know.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one. This was sent in by Laura's Literary Life. Yeah. Okay. And Laura sent in quite a few really good ones, actually. And I remember reading them at the time and thinking, cool, they're good. If you could pick MMCs from any books to create your own harem, maximum 5 of them, who would it be?
Fuck.
5.
Oh, that's good.
5 maximum MMCs. I'm
delicious.
going balls to the wall, all 5, I think. 3 is a nice number though, isn't it? Because that's a bit more manageable. You got to think
Yeah,
about...
but then surely are we not just picking our top 5 book boyfriends?
No, because I'm going to think about who would be open to MM. I don't want all of them to be doing MM. I only want, like, let's say 2 of them, 2 or 3. So if I had, like, 3, I would like 2 of them to do MM and 1 of them to not. Do you know what I mean? If we're being realistic. Because based on, like, how I like to read it. So if I was doing 5, I'd probably like a similar setup to Skylar. Although I feel like that was a lot of MM. It was like 3 relationships in one, and that was a lot. So I think actually I'm going to try and pick 3 MMCs. Just for being realistic, she says. She who will never have a harem. I'm going to definitely go Zayden because he has to be there. And now I need 2 MMCs that are willing to do MM. I'm going to go Daddy Alexandros.
Oh, beautiful. Very good. Very good.
And Coach Ronan.
Oh, that's delightful. Okay, so I'm going to go for... So Asher from Chasing the Fire has recently skyrocketed into my top 10 and he's fucking delightful. And he's best friends with Wade Ashby, so them 2 are straight in.
Nice.
Like, because they get on.
Well, you've got best friends as well.
And that means that I'm going to have a really great time.
They're unlikely to be MM between them because they're besties.
And that's fine.
Well, there might be.
Along those lines of the sort of men that they are, Craven.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is fucking delightful. So that's my 3 men that I can have whenever I want, and they're not going to want each other. Lovely. And then, so I need 2 now that would swords cross. And I think I would go for Liam and Asher.
Yeah, do you know what? That's a good shout. I was just thinking, I actually think I might add in someone like Knox from Broken Bonds.
Oh, Noxie boy.
Yeah, because he was like in charge.
Oh,
wasn't
he was in charge.
And I feel like he could balance out Alexandros quite well.
Yeah.
Because they're both kind of like in chargey.
Yeah, I like it.
So I've got 2 that are not MM. And then 2 that are MM.
For that to come off the top of our heads, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, in all honesty,
I want them all.
throw any of them in.
I do want them all. Like, if I could have
I'll
10,
do whatever.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, another one from Laura. If you were on death row, what would be your last meal and book?
Okay, so it would be a beef roast with all the trimmings, full bottle of red wine, and Credence.
Nice. If I was on death row, what about like starter, main, dessert then?
Oh,
So, full meal.
Ooh.
So your main
Okay.
would be your beef roast. Your drink would be
Full bottle of red
red
wine.
wine. What would be your starting dessert?
Starter will be king prawn pill pill.
I have no idea what that is, but sure.
It's like king prawns with like a paprika garlic situation, hot with like some nice bread for dippage. I actually think I would go for a cheese board because I'm not very sweet
Yeah.
with things. I do love me some cheese, and you know I love me some cheese.
I'm not going to lie. That's immediately giving me rage. You not picking an actual dessert for dessert. I literally cannot believe that someone wouldn't pick a dessert at dessert.
If I had to, it would be something lemon based. So like a lemon posset or like
fair.
a lemon tart.
Okay, I'll accept it.
Yeah.
Okay. And your book would be Credence.
Yeah.
So my final meal would be, I would have a starter of my nan's lentil soup with some really nice crusty bread with melted butter.
Lovely.
My main, I think I would probably also have to go with a roast.
Yeah.
I think just a classic. I think maybe like a gammon roast though, over chicken or any other meat. Otherwise it would just be a vegetable roast with loads of veggies. I'm also very much into that. Lots of roast potatoes and mash on the same plate, plenty of gravy, and then some really nice greens.
Cauliflower cheese.
Parsnips.
Chuck that in. Oh, honey roasted parsnips.
Yeah. That's what I do for mains, and then some really good gravy. Dessert, I would probably have to go a classic that will never fail is a hot chocolate fudge cake. And I would have whipped cream and ice cream with it. Bit of both.
Yeah, no fucking around.
I only like hot custard on cold desserts. I don't like hot custard on hot desserts.
Why?
I don't know. And for a drink, I would have a full fat Coke because I don't believe that there is any feeling in the world that couldn't be solved with a full fat Coke. I actually don't drink them very often. It's not something I have like every day or even multiple times a day. I maybe have like a Coke once to twice a month, if that. And usually it's when I need a sugar boost. So if I was on death row, I'd definitely have a full fat Coke with ice. Delicious. And water, because I can't wash food down. with anything other than water or juice.
Oh, see, I'm really good at eating and drinking wine at the same time.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't do that.
I'll probably have to have a beverage after, like a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc, because I wouldn't want to die sober.
For sure. I mean, if I could go, I'll have, you know, a bottle of wine with my main.
And then
I'll
another
have
one after.
a jug of margarita for afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take me to my death whilst I'm absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
And book on death row. I think it would have to be Fourth Wing, something that brings me comfort, you know, that feels familiar. Probably Fourth Wing.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think that's all the questions on this page. Yeah.
Love it.
So now let's do some quick would you rathers. I've only got 2 of these questions. I was supposed to get some more, not the would you rathers, this is a different one. Who is most likely to? And I've only got 2, so if you can think of any off the top of your head. But I ended up going to bed when I was doing this and I forgot to finish it. Who is most likely to die in a fantasy? Let's say it after 3.
Fucking hell.
Tia or Nikita?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, Tia. I think we know the answer to the next one. Who is most likely to have a reverse harem or to be in a reverse harem? 3, 2, 1, Tia.
I feel like it's, yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, how didn't I end up in this situation?
Yeah, I think that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any? Who is most likely to, off the top of your head?
Okay, I've got one. Who's most likely to end up in an extreme age gap situation?
I actually don't know the answer to this because
I'm going off who's just more grown up.
Oh, well.
Fair enough.
I was going to say both, but let's say because my initial reaction was this person, and then I was like, well, actually, I think it would probably be both because you actually prefer reading age gap.
Yeah.
But realistically, if we were being in a real life situation, 3, 2, 1, Nikita.
Because mine would probably be the other way.
Yeah, you'd end up with a golden retriever that's like a puppy. Yeah, bouncing around the place. Yeah. Who would just piss me off no end.
Oh, you'd hate it.
Yeah. Oof. Like, sit down, will you? Shut up. Just take a minute. Fucking hell.
Grow up.
Yeah. Okay. I've got some here. So, would you rather read the final chapter first or never know the ending?
Read the final chapter first, obviously.
Yeah. Audiobook or physical book?
Physical, I would prefer, but obviously audio for ease.
Yeah, I also would prefer a physical. Read one book at a time or juggle multiple books at once?
Multiple books. I'm like this.
Yeah,
This is me on a daily basis, juggling
Yeah.
all 18 of my books in my TBR.
That's an accurate representation. And I'm just out here with one.
She literally says to me all the time, she's like, can you just finish one? Because I've always got like so many in my face.
different ones.
Oh, I've got 4 in the go at the minute. That's interesting.
Yeah. And I might have like an audiobook that I'll start in the morning and finish that day at work. And then, I'll read whatever's on my Kindle or the physical book I'm reading. And that's about as many as I'll have on the go. Would you prefer a pretty cover or a clever title?
Clever title.
I prefer a pretty cover because I feel like a clever title, you don't know it's clever until you've read it. So how would you know?
Yeah, but what are we saying by like pretty cover? Because whenever I think pretty cover, I'm thinking cartoon situations.
Oh, just like a nice cover. Just something that's like, when you go, that's a nice cover.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it back then.
Yeah. Read in silence or read anywhere and everywhere?
Do that again.
Read in silence or read anywhere and everywhere. So you could be in a coffee shop where it's loud, in an airport, or do you prefer to read in silence?
Oh, everywhere and anywhere. Like I can read anywhere.
I can read anywhere, but I prefer to read in silence.
I don't know why. There's something about silence that really stresses me out. I just need something on.
So when I say silence, I mean like I'll have some kind of ambience on in the background. Right. I won't just like have the TV off.
Oh no, but I could have
sound.
like the chase on and still read.
I don't like doing that.
I need to know that something else is going on in life whilst I'm reading.
No, I'll have like a fireplace on the TV, or I'll have like, the cool ambience stuff that's on YouTube, like that kind of stuff, and it'll just be like music, or it'll be like raindrops or wind or snow, something like that. I like that. Oh, there's some who is most likely to's here. None of them are spicy because I actually just pulled these offline, but we didn't have time to like come up with like any other spicy ones. Who is most likely to, this is a bit more personal, be late to a meeting?
That's tough.
That'd be, we both, but it would be for very different reasons. Mine would be because I don't want to be there.
Mine is because I'm always late.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. That you could actually apply that to the entirety of her life.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever turned up anywhere on time, ever.
And that's not because you didn't want to be there, that's just because you're late. Whereas, when I'm late, it's because I don't want to be there. Yeah. Who's most likely to cry over a fictional character? 3, 2, 1.
Nikita.
Yeah.
It's only because you've cried more
Yeah.
at books. I tend not to that much. Although I've given it a good go recently.
Who's most likely to bring themed snacks and drinks? So that would be like to a book club or something or whatever. But like, let's say here.
Yeah.
We both know the answer to that because it's certainly not fucking me.
Yeah, I know. I knew straight away.
You've like turned up with a bag of stuff.
I always bring the goods.
Yeah.
I love doing the snack shopping. It makes me really happy.
Would you rather be shoved against a wall while his mouth trails lower than it should? Or would you rather be dragged into his lap while he makes sure you can't think straight?
That's so much to think about. Shoved against a wall.
I'd rather be on his lap. Yeah. Okay. Would you rather hear him growl exactly what he wants to do to you or feel him wordlessly push you into a corner to prove it?
Push me into a corner to prove it,
same.
baby.
Yeah. Get me in that corner.
Get the action
ASAP.
on the go. Let's have
Okay.
it. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill. Daddy Kai, Liam Hurst, Ramsay Stockton.
Daddy Kai, Liam Hurst, and Ramsay Stockton. Fuck, marry, kill. Marry Liam Hurst.
He's great.
Because he has
really
generational
is
wealth. I mean, he's amazing. I'm not marrying him only because he's wealthy, but he can set your great-great-great-great-grandchildren up for life.
Shot, yeah.
So I'm thinking about the future. I'd fuck Ramsay Stockton because that would be a great time. That'd be a really... Even though I would say arguably Ramsay Stockton is more of a book husband than Liam Hurst, I would still marry Liam Hurst for generational purposes.
Well thought through, I like
Being
it.
sensible. I would kill Daddy Kai. That's a shame.
That is a big shame.
I do like being an athlete, yeah.
That is a waste, isn't it?
What would you do?
I would marry Ramsay.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible, actually.
Yeah, it's not nice when it's done to you, is it?
No. I didn't think about it, that it would be reversed. It's like,
Trying to be clever.
this will be a laugh. This will be really great. The money's good, isn't it? Is he going to give me a lot of money for fucking
Daddy
him?
Kai he's a baseball player, so it's not like he doesn't have a bit of cash, but Liam Hurst is
All of
old
it.
money.
I'm obviously going to marry Ramsay because he's a cowboy as well. He's fucking delicious.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I'm going to marry Ramsay. I'm going to fuck Daddy Kai. I'm going to off Liam.
Oh my god.
I know.
Okay, that wraps up the quickfire ones. Now the personal questions, there is quite a lot, but a lot of them are repetitive. So we should be able to get through this pretty quick. So if you're still with us, congratulations.
Well done.
We aren't far from the end now. The first question that someone sent in and was asked a few times was, when is the next brunch? So for those of you that are listening that don't know about the brunch, because there was a lot less people on Instagram with us when we did the brunch last year in August. At the time, we were like, oh, it went really well. Like, we didn't know how it was going to go. We didn't know how many tickets we were going to sell. We didn't know if it was going to be a success. And actually, it was a great success and everyone had a really good time. And the people that didn't manage to come, I think a lot of people don't go because they kind of want to suss out, is it going to be worth it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will probably have to travel and stuff. And that's fair. That is totally fair. But since then, we just get asked like constantly, when's the brunch? When's the next brunch? And at the time we were like, oh, we're going to do one in like February for like Valentine's. And then we'll do one in the summer. And then we'll have like a Halloween one. And we severely underestimated the effort that would have to be put in to do that. The first brunch was insane. We learned a lot from that. There was so much stuff that we got that we probably didn't need. We didn't need to make it, I guess, maybe as interactive as we made it. And there's some things that we definitely want to repeat and some things that we definitely don't need to do again and stuff like that. You know, you live and learn, as they say. So I feel like when we do go into the next one, it'll definitely be better. We don't know specifically when, but it's definitely going to be another summer brunch. We couldn't do the Valentine's one. That was completely fucking impossible. I'd only just got back from sabbatical. Then we did the studio in the January and we had to get some structure to the pod. So Valentine's was completely impossible. So we're like, we'll definitely do a summer brunch. I don't know what the theme will be. I don't feel like we should really do cowboy again. Although it is a good theme and the country music and everything is still very popular.
Such a great theme, though, isn't it?
I know. I don't know whether should we just do it again?
Just to dress up, just for dress up purposes, it's really great. Because I feel like going down the route of doing like dress as your favourite character is so broad, whereas cowboy really fits in with summer.
Yeah. So for like Valentine's, we kind of just wanted to do like a blanket romance one with lots of pinks and reds and then get everyone to come in their PJs. And it would be like, we found a really great venue in London that would give kind of like really big bougie living room vibes. And there was a DJ booth and everything. And it would have been really cool, but we just couldn't manage it. But we feel like in the summer, we do want some kind of indoor-outdoor feel rather than getting everyone cooped up in the middle of summer and putting them into a room.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, obviously there'd be, like, aircon and stuff, but I just feel like it's a waste of the sunshine, you know, and it kind of affects the mood as well, having sun. So having an indoor-outdoor vibe, and especially for people that might smoke and stuff like that, or vape or whatever, obviously having an outdoor section, you know, close by is good. That's the kind of things we're thinking about. So summer, to answer your question, it's going to be summer. We haven't booked anywhere. We don't know if we'll go for the same venue for the sake of consistency, or if we'll go for somewhere else. If it's a cowboy themed, sticking to the same venue would make sense because the room was cowboy themed, and we would probably be inclined to just open the bar this time because everyone was just going to the other bar and getting their own drinks. So there's lots of things that we did learn in that we would change. We'd spend less on pre-buying alcohol and more on just having the bar open with a tab.
Yeah, spending more on maybe food as well. On
food
like a different like selection.
Yeah.
Obviously inviting more authors to come and show off all of their books, more entertainment. We've learnt a lot, and obviously we want to give 1,000 out of 10.
Yeah.
When we do these things.
And we'll keep you updated on Instagram and stories, and when we do have it booked and everything, we'll actually do an official post.
Yep.
When we did it last year, we didn't do an official post. We kind of just arranged it through like invites and Instagram stories and sent out links personally. This year we will probably make the link public, and whoever wants to come can just book a ticket, and we'll probably do an actual post. But we'll keep you updated. Okay, let's move on to some more questions. Let's answer the obvious ones. So age, where we're from, are we married, do we have kids? So do you want to go first? I'll let you go first.
Okay. So I am, hello, my real name is actually Latia, which I don't think a lot of people do know that.
No?
No. Tia for short. I am 33 years old. I am from a lovely town on the coast called Dover, in Kent, and I am engaged to a man, not Nikita.
Not to me.
And I don't have any children. I have 2 kittens, and that's it really.
They are basically like children.
They are, though.
Yeah.
They have a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I don't know what it's like to deal with kids, but Jesus Christ, these 2 are intense.
I am Nikita. That's not short for anything. That is my name. And it's actually a Russian boy's name.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I was named after the Elton John song, though. And I don't think I've ever even listened to it, but I could probably recite you most of the song because people sing it at me so much. And
so
I was going to be called Whitney.
That would be weird.
That would be so weird, isn't
Whitney.
it? Me being called Whitney. I'm so glad I wasn't called Whitney. Oh my God. If that was the alternative, but I'm glad it was Nikita. And I am 36 years old, so I am older than Tia. We've got our own little age gap going on. I am 36. I was 36 in December just gone, so technically I'm 37 this year. And I am also engaged, not to Tia, to a man. And he is nearly 10 years older than me, 9 to 10 years older than me. And Steve is how much older than you?
He is 8 years older than me.
8 years older than you.
So we've got like little mini age gaps going on.
Yeah.
Was that boring?
I feel like that was
boring.
really... Yeah, but when you talk about...
how can we jazz it up? How can you jazz up those bits of information?
Exactly,
though?
that's always going to sound boring,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Originally, I'm from Scotland. I get asked this so much about the accent as well, and we get asked it, like, how did we meet? I think it's because we have different accents.
Yeah.
People are always like, how the hell do you meet? Do you know each other? I grew up in Scotland. I actually was born in Liverpool, so I was born and raised as a Scouser. When I was 11, I moved to Scotland and developed a Scottish accent. Then I moved to Aberdeen, which is where I met my other half. When I was in my early 20s, I moved down to Kent, and that is then how we met. I got a job, and we met at that job.
Yeah.
And I've been at that same job since I got it, not long after I moved down. What did you do before this for careers? So there is no before this. We're still doing it. And we both work in finance.
We are finance
Bros. Yeah.
Ew.
Would you ever do meetups in London and do bookish things?
For sure. We were originally looking at London, weren't we? But
yeah.
It's fucking hard looking for somewhere in London, especially because we will have a lot of gear that we need to take with us.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pre-planning.
You're talking about for the
doing.
brunch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What would they...
Would we do just like, because I was thinking more like just like a little meet-up with some people.
Oh, for sure.
Like for drinks and shit like that. 'Cause that we could do in London.
We're always down for stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but even then that would still take some planning because you'd need to figure out like who would want to come along.
Yeah.
And then if you end up with like loads of people, you may as well have just done some kind of like brunch, mightn't you? When are you coming to Australia? When are you coming to California? There's lots of questions like that, actually.
That also takes planning.
And funds as well.
That's probably something we can think about next year. This year, let's just try and get through
Oh, absolutely.
life.
Yeah. Can you give us a day in your life? How to balance life and being influencers?
Do you know what? Like, in all fairness, we just take every day as it comes. There's no planning. There's no rhyme or reason that we do what we do. We just take everything as it comes. As long as we've got a book on the go, we've got socials open, we're replying to people and all that stuff, everything else just sort of follows. And then in terms of like doing all the planning of other things that we want to do in the future, again, we just make a list of ideas that we want to do, and then as and when we're like, let's start that, like with the Patreon. Let's start that up. Let's see how that goes.
Someone has said, can you speak to following your heart, quitting your job, and give some encouragement? So I read a post the other day, and it was some woman who had just put up, like, it was just a carousel of pictures, and she'd just put some, like, words on each one. And the cover picture was basically like, I'm reevaluating my life in my 30s. And basically the gist of it was that as she has gotten older, she's realised that, you know, all of the things that she was striving for and working towards sort of in her 20s and early 30s, was it worth it? You know, she's tried everything and, you know, all it's done is cause her burnout. So she was like, I led the corporate life, I studied, I strived for a good job, you know, to make more money, and all that led to was extreme burnout. I then betted on myself, I quit my job, I started a business, that failed, so then I went back into a corporate life, but then I didn't want to do that anymore, so then I went back part-time, and now I'm in a situation where I'm working a job where she can use her skills, but it was at like a minimal level, so it was nice and easy. And she was like, I'm now living a quieter, calmer, more peaceful life, rather than everything being like, well, what am I striving for? Like, what's the next step? Like, I'm just constantly being like, rah, 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 like, go, go, go. And she was like, ever since I reevaluated all of those things that I thought I wanted, my life has been happier.
Yeah.
And she was talking about living more in the present. That really sat with me, and that actually came up after I'd already quit my job, but that really sat with me. And I think as women, when you go into your 30s, you do have this monumental shift in your mental state and in your brain about, you do start reevaluating life, whether you're conscious about it or not. And we definitely grow up considerably. I'd say between your late 20s and early 30s, there is a big shift. For me personally, there was a huge shift. And now as I'm getting older, like, I worked hard, like I studied hard as well, to the point where, you know, I was like this close to genuine exhaustion when I was studying. And that is one thing I do regret, is pushing myself that far to get to that point, neglecting everyone and everything around me. And I didn't realise how miserable I was when I was studying until I was no longer studying.
Do you know what? I think that was the same with me. I think when we was doing the studying, we were still in a position where we're kind of losing that interest in being in finance.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like, finance is great, but if you don't want to be like really high up and like actually go places within the company, you're kind of just like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like,
yeah, I agree.
And you know,
but those thought processes they've come later, because obviously it didn't happen before you studied, because when you studied because you were like, I'm going to go places. I'm going to progress. I'm going to do this. And we're exactly the same. We got to the end of our studies and we were both like, actually, is this what I want to do? I don't know if this is. And then I started really looking at the people that were higher up and did have those jobs. And I was like, I don't really fancy that, actually.
Do you know what? It's the amount of stuff that they do. And I'm like, I do not want to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Even at what I'm doing now, I'm kind of like, this'll do.
Yeah,
like, this is a fine amount of work that I want to do with no stress.
And that's exactly what that woman in the post was saying.
Yeah.
She was basically saying she's using the skill set that she has, but she's got no intentions of using it to progress further. She's used the skills, gotten a job that she uses at a minimal level that's comfortable for her, without stressing herself about thinking
totally
about
fair.
going to the next step. So I think, if influencing or content creating, I hate the word influencing, is something that you want to do, you can definitely make moves to get yourself to that point and follow your heart. And I think a lot of the time what puts people off is that actually it's a long-term thing. It's not something, if it happens overnight, it happens very few and far between to people. And it is something that you need to look at doing over a longer period of time. I think that Chugly girl, she sort of had like, it looked to a lot of people like she just went viral overnight, when actually she had been on social media for years.
Well, this is what I said to you, because it's Italian Back's sister.
I don't know who that is.
You know the guy who does all the stupid dancing? Search for Italian Back. You all know who her Italian back is.
So Chugly Girl, if you follow her, she is great. But she did post recently, I'm going to look for her TikTok now. She did post not that long ago, after she had gotten like 1 million followers.
Him!
Fuck off. That's weird. That's her brother.
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
People have messaged her being like, how did you do it? Like your overnight success. And she's like, guys, it wasn't overnight. She's like, I've been doing this 5 years and only now am I getting to this kind of point. And I think when I followed her, she had something like 200,000 or 300,000 followers. And I remember watching her followers climb virtually over the space of a week from like 300,000 to like 1 million.
I think when I'd first seen her, she only had about 70k.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
This was like last year, end of last year. This is when this is all
So
started
it does
off.
just show, it can, I mean, essentially, it took her like 5 years to get to the point where she was like maybe, 70 to 100,000 followers. And then all of a sudden, boom. And because that's all it takes is just one. And then people find you and then realise, oh, actually, I like what you're doing here. So it's not always an overnight thing, and I think that's important to know as well. You know, in our situation, if you're content creating, that it may take time and it does take effort. And if it is something that you want to make a career of, you just have to keep going. We still are yet to make an actual full-time career of it. So again, take advice loosely from people like us. Leggings or jeans? Leggings.
Leggings.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
I'm going to say cold. What's your favourite food? Mine would be pizza.
So I think just chips, like anything potato based, I'm all over it. Like a fucking
mash, roasties, anything potato
I could have a
based,
plate of any form of potato. Chuck them all on,
and then
I'll have them all.
Lump some gravy on there as well. Some cheesy mash. Oh, yum. I would say pizza is probably my favourite one. My favourite food, or biscuits actually.
She does love a biscuit.
Favourite dish you can make at home from scratch?
Oh, so I really love making like a cottage pie or a lasagna, but that's only because I put a whole bottle of wine in it, and I could stand there and spend like 4 hours cooking it and really putting my heart and soul into it.
Yep. I, on the other hand, I could quite happily never set foot in a kitchen ever again in my whole entire existence, to be honest. And if I ever get excessively wealthy, if we could all manifest that for me, side note, the first thing I am going to do is hire a chef.
Really? You don't like cooking?
I don't enjoy it at all. I learned to very much like properly cook over lockdown. I don't enjoy it. I get no enjoyment of cooking in the kitchen whatsoever. I don't like baking, none of that. I just don't enjoy it. I do like making my nan's lentil soup, and that's for various reasons. A, because it reminds me of my nan, so every time I eat it, I just get flashbacks of my whole life eating it.
Yeah.
Also, because I just put everything in the pan and then I walk away and leave it for an hour.
That's fair.
And that's it. That's it made. It's made itself. Yeah. I chopped up the stuff, put it in, and that's it.
And boom.
Yeah. Someone said, how did you learn all your killer dance moves?
That was Rachel Keller, wasn't it?
That was Rachel Keller, yeah.
She always talks about our dance moves, and I love it. Do you know what's actually really funny? I used to be a dance teacher. I know.
Aww.
Side note.
You didn't tell me you used to be a dance teacher. You told me you used to be a dancer.
I used to be a dancer, and I was a dance teacher. And I feel like no one would know. There's zero skillage left in the fucking tank. Yeah. You know, like how I go to, so like no one will know this because they'll not know us trying to these dancing videos, but the sheer amount of times we spend, like it's got to be about 20 minutes that we do these dances for, because we genuinely have no skill. We
spend about 10 minutes standing there going, especially if it's like a this or that video, you know, like daddy's this or that, or boyfriend's this or that. We get to like the third option, and the two of us will stand there and be like, I don't know what to do now.
What do we do next?
I've got no dance moves left.
Yeah, I've got nothing left.
I've exhausted them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So literally we spend ages just being like, oh no.
Or if it's that how hard we dance, Jesus fucking Christ.
That's tough,
always
tough, yeah.
That is tough. Because that's not even just about skill, that's about energy.
Yeah.
And that is also something we don't have.
More energy, more footwork, more energy, more footwork. And that's it. Nearly every single personal question was, are you married? Are you engaged? Do you have children? That was basically all of them. And the question we used to get asked all the time was, how old are you? And we started dancing around it on purpose.
Oh, we managed to dance around that for a long time as well.
Yeah, we don't care people knowing. But it got to a point where everyone was being so nosy. We were like, well, we're going to make a game out of this now. Yeah. People were like, how old are you? And we'd be like, old enough for our back to go out more than we do. I think you said that one.
Which
old
is
enough to know better, too young to care.
Yeah.
That was one. Can't think of
God,
any.
we're so funny, aren't
Yeah.
we?
I think that's it. That's all the questions. I said most of them were, how did you meet as well? What book got you into reading? You know, all of that. Those kind of questions were the ones that came up the most. Thanks for joining us on our Get to Know Us pod, our updated version. This is going to be considerably longer than the 15-minute original that's up there. Again, please don't talk to me about that one because I don't want to even know it exists.
Never.
Anymore. Let's just all pretend that didn't happen. Thank you very much. If we've missed anything, any questions that you had, send us a DM, leave us a comment. We'll answer it.
Yeah.
We're not shy.
We ain't shy.
Yeah, hopefully this wasn't too boring for everybody. I feel like because it's just like, it was a whole, like, it's going to be like an hour and a bit of us just talking about ourselves, and that's just, that feels boring when it's yourself, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
But I feel like it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The next podcast is scheduled to be Cowboy Romance. So we'll see you then.
Woohoo!
We'll get back into the books. Cheers.
Cheers!